pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item on the agenda is motion to recess the Commissioners meeting to hold a retirement board meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to call the retirement board meeting to order.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the February 21st, 2024 agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the January 17th, 2024 minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Under new business, motion to approve refunds of contributions to employees no longer with the county for 6 people listed.
Make that motion.
I
Second.
have a motion. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to amend the January motion number 1 to approve retirement instead of refunds.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the following invoices for payment. Corn Ferry, $5,464. Corn Ferry, that's the first quarter actuary services. Corn Ferry, $10,000. I wouldn't know what that means. OPEB services, I guess, another acronym in our world. Beyond Investment Advisors, $51,346.81. First quarter billing fees. Brokerage Matrix Trust, $11,781.28. First quarter asset transaction fees.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion. Other post-employment benefits. Motion to adjourn the retirement board meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to reconvene the Commissioners meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, first item we have is public comments or questions concerning today's agenda.
Good morning. My name is Christina Vigo, of Newfoundland. I'm seeing a lot of human services funds being motioned, and I'm wondering what's the process, the approval process look like for when they request for that aid?
So there's a process that goes through the Human Services Office that each person has to qualify. Some of this could be for rental assistance, some of this could be for heat assistance. Some of these you can see are for redevelopment of homes. People can qualify to have a roof replaced on their house, they can have work done, and that funds comes out of either fair housing or Act 137 funds. But there's a process that goes through that people have to qualify for. We have people from Human Services here. The applications are all online for people to qualify for those dollars.
Okay, now, the question is not really for those who are supposedly receiving those. I'm wondering what's the follow-up to make sure that it's not a laundering thing by requesting these funds for this, but then not.
So there's a
really
checklist that's gone through to make sure that the work is done. So if certain things are paid, and we can allow them to speak to it, but if things are paid to a landlord, the money goes to the landlord. In some cases, it goes to the tenant to pay the landlord, but then there is follow-up for that. If there's a roof that needs to be replaced on it, the contractor is hired through the county and the roof is replaced, or if there's any work on the house. So it's not a money laundering operation.
No, there's
There's a check and a balance to that. Using the word money laundering is a little offensive. I'll just replace that, okay? All right. So I don't know if Rob wants to speak to any of this, but I think that kind of clears it up, right, a little bit?
Yeah, all documentation is collected in my office through the application process as well, and there's always receipts and invoices attached to every check.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Hey Matt, I have a quick question. Where's the information on the money that was paid to Beyond Investment Advisors on the agenda? Sorry, I don't see it.
That's on
The
the
retirement board,
right here.
the third page.
There's a third page is another agenda. We moved to that meeting, and that's where all of that is done.
Can you, I'm just curious about how the billing is done for Beyond Investment Advisors. Is this a flat fee for an asset management
It is a flat fee.
And what's, is Broadbridge Matrix Trust part of this as well?
No, they're the ones who administer the whole retirement project. So Biondo is the investment, Broadridge and Corn Ferry are the actuaries and the groups that administer the whole. I believe Broadridge is the one who writes the checks. One of them is the one who writes the checks to the retirees.
Okay, I'm sorry, just a little bit more information. Biondo Investment Advisors, 51,000. What is the percentage that they charge the county on an annual basis for those assets? Do you guys know off the top of your head?
I have it. I can get that to you.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, we can find it. The percentages, it's a flat rate percentage.
I'd also like to know how much they manage and if it's possible, if it's for public consumption, what the returns have been in the last several years.
Sure.
Yep, get that.
We have all that, yeah.
Get that. I'll call.
Anything else? Okay. Move on to number one, motion to approve the February 21st, 2024 agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the February 7th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the February 14th, 2024 conference minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the payment of the general funds for county bills in the amount of $749,594.67.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Motion to approve the payment from Act 89 in the amount of $6,403.81.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Motion to approve payment from the bridge repair account in the amount of $6,417.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to hire Victoria Razmov as caseworker 1 for Children and Youth Services for a 40-hour work week effective February 26, 2024, pending drug screening results with benefits after 90 days. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to hire Ellen Ace as temporary meal transporter for the Area Agency on Aging for a 30-hour work week effective February 26, 2024, pending drug screening results without this is without benefits. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to recess the Commissioners' meeting to hold a salary board meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Salary board. Motion to convene the salary board.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the February 7th and 14th, 2024 salary board minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the annual salary of Victoria Razumov at $36,342 as caseworker 1 for Children and Youth Services for a 40-hour work week effective February 26, 2024, pending drug screening results with benefits after 90 days.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the hourly rate of Ellen Ace at $12.50 per hour as temporary meal transporter for the Area Agency on Aging for a 30-hour work week effective February 26, 2024, pending drug screening results without benefits. Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn the salary board.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to reconvene the Commissioners' meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to acknowledge bids for the central control system upgrades of the Pike County Correctional Facility as recommended by the Prison Board.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 2, motion to authorize the chairman to execute the letter of transmittal for the Bennett Avenue Building 1 interior renovation project for payment application number 1 from North End Electric.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to authorize the chairman to execute change order number GC2 for the Bennett Avenue Building 1 interior renovations project.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System discharges of stormwater associated with construction activities, repairing and buffer modular 4 for the Kings Creek Dam project.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
We're going to skip over the next one until the family comes. Number 1, we'll go to number 2. Motion to execute the contract for nutritional professional services between Diana Federism, registered dietitian, and the County of Pike on behalf of the Area Agency on Aging.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to execute the purchase of service agreements between Clock Tower School and the County of Pike on behalf of the Children and Youth Services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to appoint Andrew Weist to the Lake Lawn and Pawpack Watershed Management District Board to fill the 4-year unexpired term of Pete Snyder ending December 31st, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the following human service payment vouchers on behalf of the Office of Human Services, whole home repair in the amount of $8,592, fair in the amount of $435, Human Services Development Fund in the amount of $12,083, and Homeless Assistance Program in the amount of $2,551.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the 2018 Community Development Block Grant Program payment voucher payable to Pro Solutions Home Renovations LLC in the amount of $19,877.14 on behalf of the Office of Human Services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Questions? All in favor? Motion to approve the 2022 Community Development Block Grant Program payment voucher payable to Hailstone Economic LLC in the amount of $23.58 on behalf of the Office of Human Services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the home program payment voucher payable to the Pro Solutions Home Renovations LLC in the amount of $27,559.11 on behalf of the Office of Human Services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the home program payment voucher payable to Gatehouse Media in the amount of $46.80 on behalf of the Office of Human Services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next item we have is the Penn State extension of calendar events, just for information, and then we move to press and public comment. Okay. Go ahead.
Is this the time for press or doing the?
Public comment, either one.
What would be your guys' definitions of enemy of the state? Like, what would your taking of that be?
What? I'm sorry.
Like, what is your taking of an enemy of the state? What would you define that as?
I don't have any comment on that. Any other questions?
Well, did anybody else at the table have a comment on that?
You have a comment on the enemy of the state?
Okay.
Would you like to comment on that?
No, I just want to talk about
I'll give you a moment to speak here.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're not going to adjourn the meeting because the Hodges are on the way here in about 15 minutes, so but we can take other questions from the press or public.
Well, I just wanted to, the reason why I was requesting an idea of what your guys' perspective on that word and that terminology is because within the last meeting of February, I don't know, the first week of February, you mentioned that you do indeed get plenty of emails and calls regarding the Agency of Human Services, which in this agenda especially, they came up a lot for requesting a financial aid. And I was wondering, following up with that last meeting, when you said that you received tons of emails and cards regarding this company, or agency, I was wondering then at what point do we consider what we're receiving when it comes to grievances, complaints about an agency that we ourselves are providing financial aid for? At what point do we maybe hold that or stop that financial aid to protect ourselves from overstepping the Constitution?
Ebony, you confused. At the last meeting, I think we were talking about emails that we received about children and youth, not human services.
Children and Youth is Human Services.
Well, in the case of our agenda, though, the department that we talk about here, the Office of Human Services, is the office that's downstairs that deals with housing needs and rental assistance.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, they all could be classified under one umbrella. They're all human services. You can go down to Monroe where we have mental health and disability services and call that human services. But I believe what you were talking about, or what was talked about at the last meeting, was emails about children and youth. And we do receive emails about that, and we direct them to the agency upstairs, or we direct them to the state. Very rarely, and I'll say this again, do I respond back to the person who's sending me the email, because I have no idea if they are if they're a family member connected to the question they're asked, or anyone else, I'd rather it go to the agency. This is a lot of sensitive issues and a lot of sensitive information that they're requesting, and I'm not at liberty to give that out, particularly when I don't know who I'm talking to.
Right, no,
Right.
and we're not speaking about what,
But no, you asked me about the emails that we
who
got.
those people are. We're speaking about your reactions when you get the emails pertaining to your position as
I just told you what I
commissioner.
do with the emails.
Yeah, and as far as that agency, the thing is, they're all umbrella together, because even that agency tells parents that those programs that you just mentioned are exclusively through them, that the public can't really get access to those other things that you mentioned unless going through that.
That's not true.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for clarifying that very important.
People can go to Human Services downstairs for rental assistance without going through other agencies in this county.
Without having to go through children and youth, and I think
Now,
that's
some
very,
people do.
I think that's very important for the public to know, for those who may have
Okay.
not known that and then went along with children and youth thinking that it was an exclusive opportunity. Thank you.
Fred?
Just a quick question on the falling down London Bridge, which is the Sawkill on 209. Is there an update from PennDOT? Are they still on track to do that in 2024?
They report about it every week, every month here at Road Task Force.
So what's the latest?
The latest is it's going out to bid here, I think, in the next couple of months.
Okay, so it is slated to start 2024 and then completion 2025 around there? Okay. I don't want to be the last car across that thing. Just saying.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Krista.
All
Sorry.
right. Well, happy Black History Month to everybody. We are close to the end of February, and I would be remiss, obviously, if I did not acknowledge this incredible time where we celebrate the contributions of African Americans to our nation. Black History Month started as Black History Week by Carter G. Woodson back in 1926. It was soon adopted, it became very popular, it was adopted in school districts across the country, and eventually it became a month. I have an extensive list of inventors who have contributed great things to our nation, and I think it's helpful that we educate as frequently as we can, so that people will reduce stigmas, will reduce misinformation, and embrace the contributions that my ancestors have made. So I do have 3 out of many, but I thought I would read these in celebration of this month. So first would be Frederick Jones in 1949. He did invent the air conditioning unit. In 1867, Alexander Miles invented the elevator. And finally, in 1876, Thomas A. Carrington invented the stethoscope. Thank you.
Thank you, Krista.
It's very important that we.
First guy.
And I don't have his name right now, I could look it up, but we do have an African American who invented the microphone. So there you go.
If you could just get this one before.
So we're not going to adjourn because I want to leave this so it's on the minutes. So I forgot the word that you use when you do that, but
Recess.
recess. There you go. We're going to just recess for a few minutes until the Hodges come, and then we'll read the proclamation, have some photos taken, because it's a pretty and when you'll hear the proclamation, you will find out that Harold Hodges was an incredible human being, and still is. He's 100 years old, incredible, can do anything, has a brain that is just so far ahead of many of us, and I've known Harold for over 50 years, a very good friend with the entire family, so I'm honored to be the one that gets to read this proclamation in remembrance and recognizing his 100th birthday. So we'll just give him a few minutes to come here.
Can you tell us would you mind relating your story about your adventures in Oregon? Where you
I could do that. You know how very intelligent he was. So I was a 21-year-old kid driving through the mountains of Oregon in a 1972 Dodge Colt with my girlfriend, who happened to be his daughter. And the car started to act up. We finally got it to a dealership, and having no idea what was wrong with this car, the mechanic come out, spent literally hours fixing this thing. You know, this is well before cell phones. So we get her dad on the phone, and we tell him everything that's going on with this car, and we are 3,000 miles away. He says, put the phone to the mechanic. Give the phone to the mechanic. The phone mechanic takes the phone, listens to all the things that are going on with this, and in 15 minutes, hands the phone back to me and says, okay, you know, I said, okay, Harold, great, thanks. Within an hour, the guy had the car running and we're going. The guy even looked at us and says, I have no idea why I didn't think about what he just told me to fix. But I'm telling you, it was like, because before that, this car would go 20 feet and stop. 20 feet and stop. I mean, so talk about how long it took us to get from point A to this dealership was, and we didn't know where we were, by the way, you know, before GPS. This is with Rand McNally maps.
Yeah,
you know?
really. Oh my God,
But beyond that, when you read the resolution from him and his involvement with major artists in this country, with Bell Labs, this is a guy who is, you know, when we think about the greatest generation, this guy is the epitome of the greatest generation, because all of this is self-taught knowledge that he had. And you'll see him there coming to Sagamore in 1942 as a bass player with his band. He was like 21 years old, and that's how he gets connected to Pike County. Just a little side note, he had a clock manufacturer in Carl Wagner's house on Sarah Street.
Wow.
So he has a long connection here at Pike County, and so do all his children. It's his father. That's her father.
That's what, yeah.
That's the girl. Yeah.
All right. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Small town.
Small town, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We all went to high school together.
Wow, I never had heard of him.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Very.
Very nice.
So we'll just wait a few minutes for them to get here.
Yeah, I hope everyone can appreciate and understand that when a loved one is ailing and aged, that arranging caregiver, you know, arranging to be able to leave the house is, it's a big task, you know, and I think that, yeah, it's just one of those days where she needed to get things settled so she could come, and I'm really happy that she's the one that's.
I am happy she's coming too. I talked to her the other day.
Yeah.
I did. I spoke to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, and speaking to what you were saying about his mind, then it's still, you know, with him being as aged as he is and so many things going on, his mind is still so active and sharp. She reports that regularly he wants to talk about things that he's thinking about, like problem solving,
Yeah.
you know, engineering problems. So he's still
You know, you
totally
read it
present
here,
in that way.
At the age of 60, Harold unfortunately went blind from a disease and was able to develop a computer at that time, before computers could do this, that was voice activated.
Right. Before
He did
anyone,
this.
he did it for himself.
He did it for
before other
himself,
people,
yeah.
had
I
even
mean, this is
thought
just
of
how
it.
brilliant this guy was.
Yeah.
Because there was no technology out there for this stuff,
Right.
you know. And for the most part, when you went to visit him, it was hard to tell if he really was blind, right? I mean, he just had a very attuned way of getting around and knowing what to do and how to do it.
And still doing all of his engineering. No,
Yeah.
you know, he just right through it, figured it all out.
Yeah, he is. He's an incredible human being.
Do you mind sharing your name and your position?
Yes, my name is Diana Lyon. I am a social worker with Karen and Quinlan Hospice.
Could I ask you to spell your first and last name for us?
Sure. Diana, D-I-A-N-A, Lyon, L-Y-O-N.
And you're with whom again? You're a social
Karen,
worker?
yes, I'm a social worker with Karen and Quinlan Hospice.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
This should not be fair.
I think you're crazy.
Crossover bridge.
I was it.
You're waiting for your.
Go to Jersey, but my doctor's in Jersey.
Oh, this one's right, 12 right there. I know, they're talking about it, so yes, that it'll be next year. Well, I think it probably is, because it's not that visible, you know, you don't think of it unless you go down and touch or whatever, see anything or something. No, I thought they were gonna do it a little while ago. I was surprised they like I saw the that corner, right? It just like once a year, someone just drives on over it, totally whacks it. They don't make the turn. You know? They're doing a traffic study for the bridge or for the intersection? They are. Right.
That works.
Yeah, I know for a little while I was really looking at that versus for a project for my subdivision office, just like from pedestrian safety. It's also very safe intersection. It's the only light intersection that's not safe. The borough was open to the timing of the lights and but they said, you know, it really meant that they do those things without traffic studies.
That's what I thought was it has 10 of them.
I know.
So there are no trouble.
Yeah.
So I know they will be destroyed that.
Yeah.
So this will be insurance.
Yeah. I know, so when I went to the borough, I said, well, I just, you know, it's good. I don't live in the borough, yeah. So of course, when I would go to borough meetings, they'd be like, why are you here? I live over in Westmont Township. But because this is, you know, this is like the town, my kid was a toddler, you know, he'd be in town, and I'd be walking, and I was like, just thinking, this isn't safe. And so during salt season, the crosswalk gets worn up, I'm just really happy because they're in that research. Yeah, and it does it. I know. Yeah, and I just feel like there's not, you know, the roads, the fine for roads here is like so much has to do with salt and there's other things, but it's not a general budget. So I understood it, but also So yeah, I think I remember you speaking at those meetings, because I went to a lot of those meetings and because it was concerning. So are you part of this group that's trying to get stabilization? No, I just saw the yeah, yeah, it's a good project.
It was what it was.
Where
Right in town. It's all that stuff that is like, you know, you just get like statistics about it, just make it clear. I don't think
God, yes. Fun.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Don't be sorry, we're glad to wait. It's important for us to wait, so welcome.
Thank
Yep,
you.
and as I said to everybody here, I'm honored to be able to do this for Harold and for your dad.
Thanks.
As I told you the other day, he's pretty special in my life. So we'll just get back to our meeting. Yep, introduce yourselves, please.
Isabel Hodges-Smith, Harold's daughter.
Andrea Hodges Paskin, Harold's other daughter.
Okay, draft resolution number 2403, recognition of Harold Hodges, 100 years of age, February 20th, 2024. Whereas Harold Hodges of Twin Lakes, Shahola, Pennsylvania, was born on February 20th, 1924, and will turn 100 years of age on February 20th, 2024. And whereas Harold Hodges first came to Pike County in 1942 to play summer season at Sagamore Resort in Shahola, Pennsylvania with his jazz band, it was then that Harold Hodges met and married his lifelong Pike County resident, Virginia Quick, and together had 7 children, all of whom were raised in Pike County. Whereas Harold Hodges lived with his family in Dingman's Ferry until Tox Island took their home by eminent domain. Whereas Harold Hodges and Virginia, throughout their adult lives, moved coast to coast multiple times, remodeling and building homes along the way, always returning to Pike County. And whereas Harold Hodges enlisted in the Navy in 1942 and served as a medic in Okinawa during World War II, and after the war began his career as a watchmaker jeweler with his own shop in downtown Milford. And whereas Harold Hodges worked at AT&T Bell Labs for much of his career, and during the 1960s, he focused on laser technology research, and it was at Bell Labs that he was approached along with other engineers to collaborate with artists, experimenting mixing art and technology. And whereas Harold Hodges worked on several works of art, including working with Billy Culver to develop a number of mechanical components for Gene Tingley's self-destructing sculpture, Homage in New York, which was presented in the garden of the Museum of Modern Art. And whereas Harold Hodges also helped Robert Rauschenberg create his sculpture, Oracle, 1962 to 65. And whereas Harold Hodges collaborated with Billy Culver to construct the helium-filled balloons used by Andy Warhol in his work Silver Clouds, 1965 to 1966. And whereas Harold Hodges designed the anti-missile missile, a remote control balloon, as well as built the soap bubble generator for Ovid Falstrom Kisses Sweeter Than Wine performance program, which ran for 9 evenings in New York in 1966. Whereas although blind at 60, Harold Hodges continued to teach himself how to program a computer while using very early screen reader technology, and has remained a lifelong scientist and engineer, always asking the best questions about how things work. Now therefore be resolved that we, the Commissioners of the County of Pike, do hereby join Harold Hodges, his family and friends, in the recognition of his 100th birthday on the 20th day of February 2024. Board of Commissioners Matt Osterberg, Ron Schmalzy, and Christopher Harris. There he is.
And for the record, I'll make that motion.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That is such an honor. I truly, truly appreciate it. And although Harold would never do it, he is always a modest person. We're very proud of him. So thank you.
Yeah, we all should be. Yeah, we all should
Thank
be.
you so much.
Thank you for coming down.
Oh,
Give him
sorry
our
for
best.
keeping late.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
It's
Give him our best.
fascinating, fantastic.
Yeah, I told a few stories about my.
Yeah.
About how
Harold was
he-
always good for a few stories.
Oh yeah. Actually, I told him one about being in Oregon when our car broke down, and the mechanic couldn't fix it. He got on the phone and told the guy how to fix it. And the guy and the mechanic was like, "How did you know what was wrong?" I didn't know what was wrong. Within 15 minutes, we were on our way again.
Only 3 weeks ago, he was asking how did the symphony orchestras back in Bach and Beethoven orient their, know what to tune to. And it was because of that I ended up researching and finding out that the actual way they do it was recorded in World War I after Treaty of Versailles. So if you look at the Treaty of Versailles, it tells you what pitch you have to things. That was the kind of questions that he would ask.
Yeah.
The mind is still working.
Fascinating guy, and I give him our best.
Thank you, thank you.
I
He
know
made
we
it
have-
to the 100.
He made it to the 100, yeah. We have the proclamation, and if you want, we can take a picture, and,
Okay.
all right? I think it's that important.
Now get up here. Pardon?
Chat with you now.
Oh, sure. You too.
Haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, neither of us are right now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got a little older.
A little bit.
Sorry.
Everyone
Okay.
smile.
Where are we looking?
Do you want this one too?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Because he has a 3-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 1. Yeah, all here. I have a daughter. She's a nurse practitioner in 2 areas. They live
Oh,
there.
very, very.
Motion to adjourn the meeting, by the way. I'm sorry.
Ariella did not-
Yes, yes, so this is thanks to Diana.